Oh yeah, we are in the building. We are live, live, live. Yes, sir. Okay, cool. So there. Let's make sure we right. We are testing the levels. We are making sure everything is rolling right. Elizabeth.
What's up?
Okay, okay. So the sound is picking up, right? We only got one mic. We are going to make it work because that's what we are about, being resilient, doing our thing. Today is a dope, dope, dope episode for many, many, many reasons. And I have somebody here that's very, very special, very, very near and dear. I didn't pick up the let's see if I could. Hello? Yo, yo, yo. We can move it around too if need be.
Okay.
Um, I didn't come up with the normal introduction. Your boy was running a little bit late behind schedule, but I don't need the proper introduction to write down and recite things because there's so many things that I bring to my own, mental when I think about this lady sitting right next to me. Um, Devout mother, beautiful spirit, humble person, caregiver, uh, uh, plethora of many things, loving, caring, concerning. Um, I could go on for days. And I'd be remiss if I didn't just highlight some of those things because I know these things are special to her. I know these things are meaningful to me and the people that she come around. I know that there's so many things that this beautiful person right next to me is able to do in her life. So I try to encourage her in many ways that I can just by showing her that, listen, although we may go through things in life, there's still so much of the greener side that we can, see ourselves going through and advancing in and just doing our part because sometimes we don't really see the potential in oneself. We recognize that we are strength, we are powerful, we are resilient, we recognize these things within oneself. But then when you hear from other people, it's always a good thing just as a confirmation because sometimes we need that extra encouragement. I start to go on. I'm about to jump into something crazy. But overall, I would love for the lady, the lovely lady, to speak for herself and introduce herself or just say what's up and peace to the people.
Thank you for that introduction.
Absolutely.
Definitely, my eyes got watery.
Oh, don't do
As
it.
y'all, some of y'all know me, I'm very emo.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a beautiful feeling.
True, true, true.
Um, I'm Elizabeth. For those that don't know me, maybe a little crazy. In there, he forgot to add that, but no, I'm just kidding. Just a little bit. uh, Wink if you're in trouble.
Word up. She like get out.
But
Ah.
yeah, thank you for that introduction. That was amazing. It took a long time to get, I guess, to where I'm at now, where we're at now in
Cool.
general.
Absolutely.
So a lot of those words are meaningful right now.
True, 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 true. So today's live, um, who's that in the building? JC Martinez. My eyes so be a little bit of a distance, so I can't normally see that far. But peace and love to you, loved one. What you're talking about in general is that our journeys throughout our lives, it comes with some trials, some tribulations, some ups and some downs. And I think that it's a beautiful thing that we're able to recognize where we are in the space of personal growth,
Hmm.
where we are as in being in companionship, being in a relationship. There's so many things that we gonna continuously learn and grow through, and I think this is appropriate time for us just to expound about some of our journey, some of the things that we have gone through, and which is a big, big milestone even today. A lot of people may overlook some of the small things in their lives, but we kind of tend to focus in and zero in on the showing the gratitude with the small things.
Yes.
So I think that some of the small things that we come up against and we accomplish, it's a confirmation of the work that we're doing internally, together, uh, in life in real time, and we just want to open up the forum just to be able to expound about it today. Today is just a free willing day. We didn't have really too much planned, nothing. But overall, there's some things that we would love to highlight in the midst of that. And I let her, you know what? Before we jump right into it, just tell the people some things about you, because I know I spoke for you on my perspectives, but you know, maybe your favorite color, maybe some of the best foods that you like to eat, something that people may not know about you that you love to share. Um, let's just build about it. Cause I mean, if you want me to start, or you want to, all right, cool. So if I were to start, I would say some of the things that people may not know or do know. Um, uh, I'm big on family, so very very family oriented. Uh, I love um, I love I love valuing my time. That's one thing I prioritize with. Um, I like sports a lot. I love education. I think I found a big love for education and trying to educate myself because I feel like I wanted to change my circumstances. And I know that during the course of my life, there were so many things that I was challenged with, and the educational factor of being able to learn, grow, and get through some of these things. I feel like at the point I'm at in my life, and even earlier during my life, I felt that I always had the inclination of wanting to learn more. So when it was children, when you see kids and they say, um, "Why is the sky blue?" and you like the sky is blue because of, and then they say the next question will be why, and then the
But
next question,
why?
but
But
why,
why?
and then why, and why, and then seven, eight, nine whys later, you like it's just is. I was one of those individuals where I feel like that in spirit, even if I didn't say it out verbally all the time. I felt like I was just one of those persons that always questioned things around me and wanted to know more because I felt like the more you know, the more opportunity you have to change your circumstances. And I
Mhm.
feel like that's where growth start to happen at. Not only just learning the information, but also um, putting it into practice, using your God gift innate abilities, your talents, the things that you have learned, the skill set that you develop. I feel like utilizing those things with action every day is what gives us the leverage that we have in our lives. I talk to well, I'm gonna let you talk because I'm long with it. I'll go. But one thing I just want to highlight that people may not know is that she has a very very innate ability in order to uh how would I say it, being in professional environments, she know how she know how to, regardless of what's going on around her, in the moment when she need to show up, she's able to do that. Turn it on. Somebody get on the phone and be like, you have somebody has a bad day, you can just hear it in their voice. You will never be able to tell. And that's one of the skill sets that I've seen
Mhm.
about it. I'm like, how do you do it? I'm not a person that wear my heart on my sleeve, but if something is bothering me, you will know. Everybody will know. If I'm bothered about something, you would know that I'm pissed off about something because I exert the energy of just smiles and laughing, laughter pretty much all day. But one thing I
Mhm.
would say about her is that when it's time to be professional, she know how to turn the professionalism on at drop of a dime. Is that
That
is
is
that kind of
very
cool,
true.
cool, cool, cool? But
And
yeah,
I never knew I had that like ability to do so
correct.
because until one day you were like, "How you just mad a sec? Hi, how are you? Like, what are you doing? How's everything? Like nothing just ever happened."
Correct.
Um, I do it even with us.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
there's times where like even if we have a discussion,
Correct.
we could get into the discussion, and then I'm like 5 minutes later.
Trying to be done with it.
Yeah, I try to like squash it over it. Okay, it happened. Let's move on.
Absolutely.
And I guess I'm just that type of person that I don't like staying mad for too long. I like to talk
Mm,
about it and move forward
I like
and
that.
keep going. I don't like continually bringing up everything and all the time, or keep bringing up or reminiscing the old time. Old time is like, okay, we over it. Let's go, move on, move forward.
Absolutely.
So I guess it's just something that I don't know why, and I still try to figure out why, but I don't like just lingering on to things. And it's just okay. We mad at each other. We said what we said. Let's just move forward. How can we make it work?
Has that worked for you so obviously you said it worked in your personal life. We know it works for you in your professional life. Have there been times where you've been challenged and you said, although I want to turn on the professionalism, were there times where you like F the professionalism?
Oh, all the time.
Okay, 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 okay. I just want to
All the time.
yeah, because I'm
Because
curious.
you're like my therapist. Like there's times I call you, like I'm ready to go off on the people at work,
Mm,
and then I'm like, people at work, just family or friends, like stuff that I don't like, I'm ready just to short fuse.
mm,
Like, and I always been short fuse because I guess that has to do with a lot of me just feeling like I had to hold everything. I couldn't speak my mind before, and now that I'm able to speak my mind, like it's a gift and a curse because it's like sometimes I don't know when to shut it off. And I just say too much and it's just like, okay, Liz, you need to chill now. And it's just like I don't know when to turn it on sometimes. Or like when it gets on, I don't know when to turn it off. Or the appropriate time to turn it off.
I like
if it
that.
makes sense.
No. Yeah. You say that all the time too.
I say if it makes sense a lot because I I learn things differently than what other people do. Like I learn backwards if it makes sense. So it's like for me, it sounds. I sometimes know what I want to say and it's in my mind, but sometimes when I speak it, it doesn't come out the way I'm thinking it.
Yeah, I've seen that in my life as well at various times. I think that giving yourself permission to be allowed to make mistakes, and a lot of times we show up and want to be perfect in a lot of situations, and we are human. And I learned something through Dr. Ali is that we get perfection through error. So a lot of times we want everything to work out in ideal. I don't think there's any person on the planet where every day their life is just perfect. There are going to be things that and it's all about perspective. So when I say perfect, I mean that ideally it's all about your perception. So you can say, okay, I woke up today and it's raining outside. It could be a pro or a con depending on how you look at it. If you choose to focus on the brighter side, ideally you would think nothing but positivity and you would yield more positive returns. If you just taking the situation for what it is, you can always mix it up and say, okay, although there are some positive things with this, it could be some negative things with this. How do I draw the line and say where the fault is? And what I learned, what I'm saying about Dr. Ali, I learned that although things aren't the way you intend it to be, that's the perfect opportunity to make things right.
Right.
And that's where you start to learn through trial and error. I just give a scenario. 2 days ago, we know that we have to do the live today. Every Thursday is routine. This is what we doing. And my roadcaster, which is my soundboard, which is right here, I'll play something for you. Here we go. I'll let you hear it.
I heard it. That says over the rainbow.
Cool. Absolutely. Yep. So my soundboard, my interface was messed up, actually broke. I went through all of the troubleshooting. I went through changing the wires. I went through calling tech support. Rebooted. I did everything under the sun. Couldn't get it to work. Now, although I'm being more and more tech savvy because I like to remove the term from me not being tech savvy, I am now tech savvy, even though I know I have ways to go. But the thing is, I figured out that there was an error. There was a problem. And okay, this is to a greater good. And let me tell you the reason why. I learned a word the other day where I heard the term super often called serendipity, right? And things serendipity. Yes.
I have a tongue twisting problem. I pronounce a lot of things wrong.
See.
I'm a tongue twister.
No. Right? What? I got too many. I got another thought. What I try to encourage her is stop thinking that everything she do is wrong. So even in moments where
I love it. I laugh at myself.
Yeah, I know. But the thing,
I'm like,
no. What I'm saying is
errors.
that when we say, okay, I do things backwards, I'm not doing things right. It's programming and downloading that we always think that maybe I'm not as good enough for whatever. And what I'm saying is that you can always show up to be the person that you are, regardless of what anybody else thinks. Because a lot of times in society, we have people tell us that we're not good enough. We have society tell us that we're not good enough. We have whatever. So that was just a thought that ran through my mind. But what I was saying is that when I learned the term serendipity, right, it's a term that an occurrence happens. Something happens by chance, right? In a moment, it seems small. Like, why did this small thing happen? Don't even know why it happened, but at the end of the road, it ended up being something that was beneficial to you that actually worked out to your favor. So it's something that had a means to a greater good. Even though there was fault, it was means to a greater good. So what I'm saying is, I had an issue with my roadcaster. Although that it had broken, I didn't tell y'all this part. I was playing with the keypads, etc. I end up deleting some of my soundboards. So the words that the, the hymns and stuff you hear now, like round of applause, things of that nature, I end up deleting majority of those inputs.
Right.
This was maybe about a week ago. So I'm like trying to figure out how can I reboot it. I come to find out that I can download some more sound bites from websites, et cetera, et cetera. But the original ones that came with the Rodecaster, I had no way to get those things back. So if I deleted this specific,
It's gonna be hard to get it back.
I don't get it back unless I do a factory reset. So when I'm saying that things have a greater good is that initially I had an issue about a week ago that I deleted half of my keypad. Ironically, my Rodecaster itself stopped working. Then I end up going to the store, I had warranty on it, and I end up getting a brand new one. So a week ago, I'm thinking that the worst thing happened that I deleted my soundboard. And there's no way that I'd be able to get this thing back until I figured out that something worked out in my favor, something that happened by chance ended up being better than all of it. And not only did I um get a chance to update my soundboard, but I got a brand new
Brand new one.
interface. The serendipity part, things that happen by chance that end up having a greater good. And I feel like a lot of times in our lives, there'll be small instances that happen along our journeys that we don't really pay attention to, that we write off, or something that may happen where we just don't understand. And to come to find out, we're like, wow, all along this was working towards my favor.
Right.
How you feel about that? Do you think things like that happen to you in your life where you may have thought about something like, oh man, this is a hardship, and then at the end of the road you figured out, wow, actually here it is a year later, voila, something just miraculous came out the world, came out the sky, and it worked to my greater good. Have you seen circumstances like that?
Some circumstances, yeah.
You have anything off top? Maybe you was
Mm.
working in a job. Maybe you had a scrape on your knee. Maybe you had a big old discrepancy, and it turned your mindset to go towards something different. I know one I can speak of. I know one.
You can speak of
No,
it.
but I would love you to engage because I'm long with it. You know that. So I will be here talking all day, bumping my guns. But I would love for her to share her experience because I think it's important. All right, I think it's important for you to show up for you. Everybody got different things that go on in their life. Everybody got different leverage. Um everybody got leverage, and you have so much leverage. And I want you to be aware of it. I'm not telling you nothing that you don't know, but I want to always want to be an encouragement to that and allow you to know that
Okay.
even in moments where you feel like you may not.
Right. I feel like maybe one thing I felt like maybe my environment that I grew up in,
Mm,
I always felt like, we're not taught things like go to school to get yourself a good job and have a good education, and
mm,
we're taught, okay, you go to school, you get a job, you try to go for the highest paying job because it's going to pay your bills more. We're
mhm,
not taught if you like it, you don't. Whatever it is, you just got to bring that income home. You
mm,
got to try to push yourself. So I always thought of bare minimum of myself, of
mm,
working in hotels or retail stores and thinking like, okay, this is it. I'm not gonna grow. This is all I'm gonna do in my life until I didn't think at one point I was gonna land a job where I'm in a high position and meeting people that are high in their position, the chief, the mayor, and working with them has been something that I would have never thought I was gonna even nowhere near be around.
mm. You
So
think that was a mindset shift? Because although you grew up in an environment, we all have things that we learned and taught, and we tend to stick to some of those things because it's second nature. So we're accustomed to it. So we
mhm.
do things naturally. Sometimes we do things and not even aware of it. Do you think that something changed in you to make you look at things a little bit different?
Yeah, I started feeling like this isn't me.
So
I deserve more.
oh, you felt that.
Yeah,
Ooh, I like that.
I felt like I deserve more. I felt like statistics wants you to feel like you can't be a better person of yourself within your race or your whatever you are, like you can't grow. They want you to feel like you can grow. And depending on what environment you grow up in, you always feel like you're stuck and this is what I have to do. Or maybe this is my life and what I'm meant to do. Like I don't see myself growing. Like, oh, they probably worked hard or know somebody. Half the times a lot of people know somebody to know somebody to know somebody to get
Mm-hmm.
into where they are.
For sure.
And I feel like it's a huge accomplishment when you did it by yourself and
Mm-hmm.
you're working there and you're continue to do it without, like what I say, without kissing ass.
Mm-hmm.
Because
For sure. For sure.
that's one thing I feel
Unapologetic.
like
Unapologetic.
yeah, because I don't feel like I don't like doing that for work. I feel like I shouldn't have to do that to get to where I am. I could just be myself. Whether people are gonna like it or don't like it, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to feel like I got to a place because I was myself.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there's work that you have to do in order to get those other levels? Because
Oh
right now
yeah.
you take yourself for who you are, and sometimes we get to these places and say, you know what, I'm here because it's me, because of me. I did the work. I did blah 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 blah. But do you feel like there's more that you have to do to reach those other levels? Do you see another level?
I do see another level.
Or you see more growth? You see more growth? A lot
I see
more growth.
way more growth.
Mm.
I see way more growth. And I think with this year, it has been a huge transition for me in a sense where I started focusing not only on myself, but more my health. And because my health is up and down, up and down, up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like by me changing that and changing my health, I had made myself have a stronger mindset.
What are one of the things that you changed with health? Tell me something that you have changed or something that you added differently than you were doing in the past.
So we made a year no drinking.
That's powerful. That's definitely a W. So unpack it. Tell people, because that's a wait. Hold on, what a round of applause at, man? Give us a round of applause. You heard? Yes, yes, yes. It's been 1 year sober.
Yes.
Sobriety. No drinking.
No
Although you may
drinking.
think I have some taste in this cup, it is not no taste. This right
Oh,
here.
it is.
Yeah, this is Mango Dragon. No, not Mango Dragon. I'm gonna see Mango Dragon lemonade because I get that every day at Starbucks. But this right here is mango,
It's mango cranberry.
mango cranberry. I get this. I like this. The ocean spray John, legendary right here. I like to drink this too. I do got a sweet tooth, but bringing it back to having 1 year sobriety. Let's talk about that.
So it was a decision that not only did I make, we both made.
Absolutely.
And I felt like everything was spiraling
Mm.
at that moment. I wasn't able to control my emotions. I wasn't able to control my feelings. I was angry a lot. I
Mhm.
wasn't, and a lot had to do with because I didn't know how to get my emotions out.
Mm.
And I held everything in for so long that instead of seeking help and talking about certain things, at any given point, a moment, it was just the drinking added the fuel.
Mm.
And I would snap in a heartbeat. So I didn't care what anybody said. I was like what they said, the Incredible Hulk. He just turned into a thing that won't stop,
Yeah.
And I didn't like the way it was making me feel. It was just, I was spiraling out.
Mhm.
And I started noticing that I'm not afraid of admitting it. I was becoming more and more aggressive,
Mm.
way more aggressive.
Mhm.
And I thought to myself, I'm like, this isn't me. Like,
Mhm.
what the hell am I doing? Like, this is not the Liz that I know. This isn't not the Liz that used to drink and just have fun and just have fun.
Right.
Then wake up the next day like, yo, what the fuck just happened? Excuse me, what the hell just happened? What
the
did we
helly?
see? What the helly? And just like we did that? Oh my God. And just burst out in tears. And instead it was turning the opposite way. It was turning into a person that I didn't even know myself.
Let me ask you this question. So when we talking about spirits, so we talking about liquor, we talking about alcohol. This is what this was our vice of choice. Now, disclaimer, vice verse. This is our vice of choice. This is disclaimer. Whatever you choose to do in your life, we're not here to judge. We're just saying that this
Right.
is part of our story. This is some of the things that we have gone through, and there's some things that work to our advantage, some things that we're learning and growing through. as we become the people that we desire to be. And I noticed even with myself, which she's sharing about her story, about the things that she's seen. There's so much I want to ask about that as well. But just to share a bit of mine, I felt even with myself when I became under the influence, I started to feel it was taken away from me of the work I was trying to do the day after. So ideally, we all have recreational things. I love to go out. I love to party. I love to drink. I love to do all those things. I enjoy them. I really, really do. So I'm not taking that away because I still enjoy them, even though I don't. I've been 1 year together. We have been sober of drinking. But what I'm saying is that there were some things that I had to take a closer look at when it came to my personal life, my professional life, my entrepreneurship. I started to see certain things take a toll in my life. So for you, it might have been a thing where some anger, some things going on in your life where you just felt like you were spiraling. I
Mm-hmm.
felt that my work started to be affected by it with my personal life. So I felt like me being able to show up for myself, I wasn't able to do that. So if I'm not able to show up for myself, how am I able to show up for other people?
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things I started to realize. Like, wait, if I want to be in a space of somebody that have a voice, a credible voice, somebody that be a practitioner of doing things, saying things, and actually, you know, following and seeking through with my words, with my actions, and make them things coincide. I started to see, okay, there's some changes that I had to make in my life, and we thought together, like, you know what, hey, you're on this path. There's some changes that you want to have in your life. There's some changes that I want to have in my life. How about we do this together? And then
Mm-hmm.
we decided together, so you know what, it'd be best for both of us and see how we can go forward. And today is one of those celebratory days to where we can say it's been over a year since we've been sober from having some of our vices.
You owe me the boil.
I did say that. So definitely got the boy. The boy lined up. I definitely gotta have the boy on deck. Absolutely, absolutely. Big 50. Unpacking that a little bit.
Yeah.
With me, it was my work being affected,
Mm-hmm.
right? For you, it seemed like there was something else that was, you said spiraling. Was it anger? Was there
It
some
was
level of
everything.
disappointment?
It was anger.
Okay.
I was disappointed in myself.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I wasn't being the better version of myself. And I
Mm,
felt like I was becoming a person that I didn't even recognize.
okay, I hear you.
And just a complete different person.
Understand that.
And I didn't like who I was becoming. You know how they say, oh, the villain? I felt like I was becoming a villain that nobody liked.
Mm. And you thought that because you started not liking yourself.
I thought, yeah, of
And you,
course.
and
And
you,
then not only that, like I started seeing a lot of your family members had a lot to do with it too
mhm.
because I don't want to get
Now,
emotional. I'm an
yeah,
emo person,
and yeah,
but like,
and also we don't have, just a disclaimer too. I want you to know
yeah.
we don't have to disclose nothing
No,
personal,
no, no, no.
but I
It's
just want
not.
you
It's
to
just
understand.
they also had a huge impact in it because they loved me enough to tell me the truth. They weren't afraid of not saying nothing. They told me the truth, and that's something that I was I guess missing
Yeah.
throughout the whole time,
Mm,
including yourself. You
correct.
know, sometimes you need to hear it from other people other
Mm,
than your close household
yeah.
because you hear it from your close household, you're just like, yeah, whatever. But when it's other people, then you start, it makes whoever it is, it starts to make you realize, okay, maybe it's not just the household. Maybe it's other people seeing the same thing.
I dig it. I dig it. Have you ever been in environments where, telling the truth, being transparent, the people prioritizing that? Because the reason why I'm saying is because I know that occasionally when we grow up, there's certain things that we do in order to fit in. I know in my past, in my life, I call myself Mr. Agreeable. So I used to agree with everybody, even when I thought things were wrong. So that actually worked against me in so many other ways. It worked for me, but in the long run, it started to affect my relationships. It started to affect the way I felt about myself, etc. So I want to know, um, how did that affect you uh when it came to being in environments? Did you see people around you telling you the truth? Were you getting transparency?
No,
Wasn't?
no.
Okay. How did you come to was that something that you value? Like then did you mind not, did you rather, I'm saying this, right? To make it make sense for me so I can be able to
Mm-hmm.
communicate to you. Um I rather sat back at a point in time in my life to have everybody like me versus everybody hate me. So what I did was I did things according to how I felt other people would perceive me. So to a degree, it's like, well, that's a commendable thing because you will want people to have trust, like, know, like, and trust you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when does that become a fault? Because you do something to a fault, and I think I was being Mr. Agreeable to a fault. So it had adverse effects on me where when people will come and ask me for their opinion, they can get the pat on the back, they can get the comfort because I just told them what they wanted to hear. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I started to realize that I was doing a disservice because I felt like I loved them enough to start telling them the truth, when I started to tell people the truth, it started to ruffle a little bit of their feathers. And I'm like, do I want to be in that space? And that space made me uncomfortable.
I used to do that a lot too.
Mm.
And I felt like I had to do it to please others because it's like if I was to say how I really felt, I felt like either they were gonna hate me for it
Mm.
or they were gonna look at me different or they'll just be like, oh, she thinks she's too good for everybody because she
Mm.
feels the opposite way, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And 9 out of 10, a lot of people, you tell them the truth or they start to distance themselves from you
Yeah.
because they feel like you're jealous of them or you're just you're part of the mean girls or the mean boys club, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they don't see it nothing else, just you just being genuine with them.
You know what I started to realize over time is that you being different is really a gift. You being unique, you being the person that's kind of the outcast, it shows that you have a different perspective about things and about life. And that's what makes you interesting. There was a lady, I can't think of her name, right? But it was one of the president's wife. And she stated that um, she sat down with two different individuals, right?
Mm-hmm.
One individual was how was it? I don't want to misquote it. Sat down with two different individuals. One person, oh man, I don't want to misquote it. Along the lines, let me just cut to the chase because I don't want to misinterpret. But the whole premise is that oh yeah, this is what it was. She's down with two different individuals, right? Two prominent figures in the world. And she said when she sat down with one person was so into themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said she sat down with this person. The person was everything, just me, right? First law of nature, self-preservation, preserve self, put yourself in high regard. Then she said she sat down with another person that drew the attention towards her. And that person was like really, really interested into her, just asking her questions about her. She said when she left that other meeting, when she sat down with the two individuals, she said that the other person that was more interested in her, just asking her questions, she felt like she could go out there and conquer the world. And I thought about that, and I'm like, what does she mean? Because I'm like I'm trying to make sense of it. So ultimately, what she was saying is that when you become an interesting person, when you become interested, when you become so interested in other people and other things in life, you start to become the most interesting.
Right.
So that means that ultimately, a lot of times when you're curious, when you have childlike curiosity
Right.
and you questioning things, you seeing things, you just want to know more, and you just, why is the sky blue? Why is the water green?
I
Why is
used
the
to question everything in my
mm-hmm.
biology class, my history class,
Yeah,
and I used to get in trouble a lot for questioning things, but it's just the curiosity of me.
but that's the
Like,
gift. That was the gift, and a lot of times people silence that. And what I'm saying is that it's a beautiful thing to be into yourself,
mm-hmm,
but people will find you way more interesting when you're so interested in everything else as well.
mm-hmm,
Not saying that you focused on what other people are doing,
not
but
self-centered.
yeah, when you're not self-centered and you're not being
Mm-hmm.
cynical, when you start looking at things and just being just being a person that's interested in things, you start to become interesting because it's like, well, why Elizabeth focused on biology? Why does she love animals? Like she love animals, right? And to the T, right? Every time you go to bed, Animal Planet, all of these things, right? All day. And I'm like, why she love animals so much? Why she love animals so much? And then I started to realize something about her that most people may not know. Of course, you may see in the public, play with the dogs, etc. That's one thing. but there's something that draws her connected to an animal. Maybe the mindset, maybe the innocence. There's a combination of things that may draw people to certain things. So when she started to look at animals in that capacity, it started to make me think about her in a more interesting way as well. Because there are only things that I was disclosed to her about what people tell you over the years and time. You know what people tell you, but then you start being around people, you start seeing how people act, think, etc. So you get more familiar with how people do things. But then when you start seeing what they're interested in, it start to raise the eyebrow like, why is he or she interested in that? And then the question become, well, why are you? Like I'm asking you right now, why are you so interested in animals? What is animals? Like why Animal Planet? Why is that a thing?
It's, you know how they say it's like a euphoric feeling. So it's like they have a sense of, like, if you pet their ears, like they throw off a chemical that calms you down. And it's crazy, but it does.
Pheromones.
Yes, and it calms you down quickly. I feel like when an animal, when I'm under so much stress and I'm feeling any type of way, just me petting them, I just forget, like, why was I stressed about right now, or what was it that I was just mad about, or and it's just like, and they're, believe it or not, they're just interesting creatures, like,
They are,
but very smart and loyal. Like, if you take care of them correctly, if you raise them correctly in your environment, they are the most loyal person ever. You can scream at them. You can, why did you eat the shoe? And you're a bad dog. But then they'll come after you for love and affection. And then it's like they look for you, like you can hit them at one point and they'll still treat you with loyalty. They'll still go to you. And it's like, if they could protect you when you're outside, you wouldn't even know it, because that's their thing. You're their dominant person, and that's who they care for. And I feel like we can learn so much with them.
for sure.
Like having patience, compassion, because they're just like kids sometimes. You got to train them to go
Yeah.
outside and use the bathroom. You got to train them to lay down. No jumping on the sofa. No jumping on the bed. No jumping on this and no jumping on that. And it's just like, they teach you patience.
Ooh,
They teach you patience.
that's key. That's deep. Oh, I like that. Patience. So when I watch Animal Planet as well with you, right? And I watch these. So I have a thing where I watch a lot of survival things, right? People lost in the Amazon desert, jungle. People lost out to sea, etc., etc. And they always have these encounters with some of these animals. It's always a you versus you thing, right? You overcoming mental wear out, where you start to hallucinate for days, not eating. You get challenged in so many areas of your life when you're just trying to survive. Your survival instincts kicked in.
Right.
I was watching an episode yesterday where there was a bear. There was a plane that crashed, right? There was two gentlemen. They just met each other, maybe about like 3-4 days. They just met each other. End up going on the plane, giving another guy a pilot license. So they end up going over some of the mountains, right? They're going over the mountains. They doing their thing. They see the beautiful valley and stuff. They said, you know what? How about we go over there? They said we got maybe another half an hour or so. We could just swing through and go through the mountain. They end up going through the mountain. They said, the first guy, which is the pilot, teaching the lesson, saying, you know what? Let's take a shot. Let's do it. All right. Why not? They end up going through the valley. Next thing you know, their plane started to drop and disintegrate at 200 feet like per minute or something like that. It started to descend 200 feet per minute. So the plane's going down. They can't figure out what was going on. Long story short, the plane ended up crashing. When the plane ended up crashing, at the end of the story, the reason why it crashed, they didn't know that area was a high red zone for all crashes. Something in the atmosphere throws off the signaling, shut down their systems, etc. So they had so many,
like the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, some level of energy was going over. Really, they end up crashing. They end up crashing not only in the valley, but in the world's most inhabited of all grizzly bears. So They end up, yeah. So they in this area in the valley where there's nothing but all grizzly bears,
Right.
right? The highest in the world, where predominantly this land is inhabited with a bunch of grizzly bears. They end up walking through. They was out there for like 3-4 days. They encountered one grizzly bear. The bear had to be, they said, was like 10 feet away from them. They all bloodied up, whatever. Because now the I think the bear is able to smell blood for like, I think like 3 or 4 miles. They're able to smell blood. So they said they seen this 10-foot grizzly bear, um, like just walking past, and they just stood still. And the guy said all he kept saying to himself was, "Please make a left turn. Please make a left turn." The bear ended up just walking, took a step towards them, not really noticing them, took the left turn and veered off. Um, the premise of me saying these things is that instinctually we don't know what we may encounter in life.
Mm-mm.
It could be life or death situations, and something will come over us when you talk about patience. When you talk about being in these dire situations, there's some level of there's innate things that will kick in, like our spider senses
Mm-hmm.
kick up to where it's like fight or flight or life or death, and you'll be amazed at some of these situations that you'll be able to overcome when you feel like your back is against the wall. So what I'm saying is that there are many times in our lives where we feel like, okay, this is the end all be all, or there's no other result, but I'm gonna just go out with a bang. And we be surprised that the things that we able to accomplish when we just put our mind to doing and saying, you
Right.
know what, I'm going to get through this. Our mindset has a major impact on these things in our lives. And when we talking about these survival things, we talk about animals, we talk about um, being around these different levels of energies. I feel that we pick up things from one another.
Mm-hmm.
So as well as we able to teach animals, we able to learn from ourselves as well.
Mm-hmm.
We learn from other people. We learn from watching what people do, watching what people say, how people respond and react in certain situations. And I feel like that I'm more aware of those things. I know there was times where in our environments where I felt like this is the end all be all. I was telling Jaden the other day, right, my stepson, I was telling him like, yo, there was a point in my life where I felt like there was only 3 ways to get rich. Only 3 ways to get rich. And I told him like the first one was selling drugs. That's the first way that I was gonna get rich. The second way I thought I was gonna get rich was me being some star athlete. And we know the likelihood of that is like hitting the lotto. And ironically, the third way that I thought I'd be able to get rich is through lotto, hitting the
Mm-hmm.
lotto. So I'm saying to myself, if you're not aware of the possibilities of what's going on in the world, we'll stay stuck and stagnant in a position mentally handicapped.
You won't grow.
You won't grow. You won't
You'll
grow.
stay stuck in that same circle, and you're never gonna go anywhere.
Absolutely.
Like it's just a spiral, like what they say, the tornadoes. You just spiraling and
Spiraling,
spiraling
spiraling.
until you decide when you want to stop.
Do you feel like you had to start looking at things a little bit different when it comes to um not having all the answers yourself? Do you feel like you had to go outside of yourself at times to just to observe what's going on around you? Do you feel like, because a lot of times we like I said, we self-centered. We sometimes we could just be in our own minds and our own heads. And I feel intrinsically everything comes from within. But
Hmm.
then once you start looking here, we still in environments. We
Of
still
course,
okay.
it's like I had to start, like they said, thinking outside the box,
Mm,
and I had to start writing down. Okay, what are my triggers? What triggers me? What what gets me into the state that I'm in?
mm,
What is there something embedded in me from childhood that doesn't want to let go or linger, that I'm still mad about and upset about?
correct.
And that has a lot to do, like when you're facing either childhood trauma or any type of trigger, like you feel like you're you're stuck without no help, and
Mhm.
it's only going to get worse. Like some people are so afraid of, they're not afraid of saying I need help, and there's others that are like, I don't need help, I'm
Yeah.
fine the way I am, like I'm good. It took me 37 years to say no, I need help.
Yeah.
Like I need a change, I need to evaluate myself, I need to do something, because it's not a good look of where I'm going. And if I want to be not only a better partner, but if I want to be a better mother, like I have to grow for myself.
Mm.
So
I love that. I like that. Right now, we're gonna take a word from our sponsors and shoot it out. This is dope. This is dope. So I created this earlier. So let me know what you think about it. Put it in the chat, emoji, etc. I came up with my own ad. I'm still working on it. It was still back against the
you
wall.
better say it's good.
Woo! Give it thumbs up. Like
You
the video.
better like the video.
Like the video. Here it is. This is my little ad
Be
video.
nice.
Oh, here's the mouse. Oh, let's see. Here we go. Peace, beloveds. Thank you for tuning in to the Respectfully Great podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Reed, and I appreciate your continuous support. Do you know that over 80% of the people that watch our channel aren't subscribed? By subscribing to our channel, you give us the opportunity to bring on more guests to add more value to our channel. To join our growing community, head over to respectfullygreat.com, sign up for our email list to get exclusive updates on empowering blogs, as well as the latest and greatest in Respectfully Great fashion. Once again, it's nothing but big love, and we value your commitment. Yeah, that is one of the words from our sponsors. Actually, Respectfully Great. Go run the numbers up, respectfullygreat.com. Like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm super pumped and super static because those type of things in general, on and off topic, they make me proud of me, right? And I find that we have to start counting our wins, no matter how big or how small, because what happens is once we start counting our wins, that actually builds up the confidence to say that I can go out there and do more. And I've experienced that, right? When you deal with people telling you that you're not good enough, that you don't have the ability, you don't have the skill set, you're not white enough, you're not black enough, you're not green enough, you don't have the most money, that you're financially in a rut, or your people's never accomplished anything. I learned something from Charleston White. I've been watching a lot of his content lately, and he said a lot of times where we are in our days in time now, they no longer have to put you in handcuffs to lock you up. They said they have digital prisons now, and when I thought about it, I'm like, what is he talking about? He said digital prisons, and he said that our minds are so glued to some level of algorithm. We are tapped into media. We are tapped into somebody else's life. We are tapped into TV. We are tapped into all of these things, devices that are around us, and it can actually be a tool of helping or a tool of hurting. So when I heard the digital prison, it threw me for a loop, and I'm like, how much of the time do we waste on being attracted to things that don't yield us a higher return? How do you feel about not utilizing your time properly? You think
you can crumble because the reason why I say you can crumble is because you don't utilize your time the right way in finding certain different resources to help you become a better person, or doing something that you love, that you're passionate about, whether it's the gym or it's just researching things that you love to do. I feel like you're gonna go and get trapped. And when I mean trapped is you're gonna put your whole entire time into something negative. And whether that's hanging out outside or watching shows you're not even supposed to be watching, you're programming your brain to start thinking negative. And you're not programming your brain, because let's be real, in reality, society wants us to fail, wants us all to fail. And the reason why I said that is because they're putting out shows for us to watch. They're putting out a lot of things. We watch TV. We watch TV. We're stuck to our phones 24/7. So it's like, if you really look out there, a lot of promotion is either it's what supposedly your relationship should look like, or it's okay if your partner cheats on you as long as they're providing income, or vice versa. So whatever the case may be, like you're feeding yourself this, or you're watching soap operas, or whatever the case may be, where now it's involving you, and you start looking at your partner, or you start looking at your household different. You're
Mm.
like, my partner's probably doing that because in this episode they were showing how he or she was doing this with their phone, and
Mm.
they're doing the same thing they did. Oh, maybe this person doesn't like me enough because they're not showing what this person did, or they not
Mm.
buying me no Birkins and freaking Louis Vuitton purses and stuff like that, and that means that my partner doesn't love me. Like,
Mhm.
no, I need a man to support me in this, you know? And it's like it's brainwashing us,
Mm.
and you're not seeing the real value of what a family is supposed to look like, you know, or the old school way. Like what you said, is a lot of us are still old school, and and there's nothing bad about that,
Mhm.
and I feel like people get so stuck in that trends that they don't go out and explore other things, take the time to have their moments, and let's go for a walk, let's go to the museum and see, you might spark up something that you don't even know you like.
Mm. So utilizing your time, you said something very key when you said resources. Utilizing your time right. Not being caught up in what the worldly things are, and more or less finding out what things work for you. And I agree 110%.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that um everybody do things the way they like to do them in their own households. Everybody got their own script. Like we watch, like you said, the Love and Hip Hop.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't know that it's scripted. So we live in our life in real time, in
Yeah.
reality, to someone else's script. But what script, what stories are we telling ourselves about our family, about our finances, about our health, about where we want to be at in the near future, the things that we are attracted to? So these things are very, very important for me. And what I understand is because there's certain things that we have to build up in order to change other people's lives that we care about when it comes to children, family, friends, etc.
Right.
We first got to be those catalysts of individual. Talk to me.
There's something else too. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want, like, a lot of people get it. It took me a while to also feel that way, because I always felt, there was a point in time where I always felt like if I wasn't doing the things you didn't like to do, then I was failing. I wasn't doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
And I always like, it's okay to not like what either your partner or whoever you're in a household with. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay not to like what they're into. Support is the number one thing, obviously. But it's, as long as,
Can you support and not like?
yeah, you can.
Okay, all right, you can continue. I just want because I don't know, I don't want that to go over nobody's head.
No,
I
you
like
can
that.
support something and not like. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing these days. Like, if you say you love someone, whether it's friendship, companion, like whatever the case may be, even kids, because I seen stuff where parents don't even support their kids,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't want to be involved in that, and it's like, you have to think of it as, it's not you. It's not you at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's that person. And if this person likes it, you support them.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they're not hurting themselves or they're not doing anything that's gonna harm them, then you're perfectly fine. And I feel like it's okay not to like what everybody else likes.
True.
Like, you might be into your podcasting and, entrepreneurship, and I actually just might like being at peace.
Absolutely.
And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like sometimes it can mess a person up in certain cases where
Mm-hmm.
it's like the person feels like, just because I like to be at peace, you don't like it, like you feel like you're stuck,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, okay, what if this person doesn't like that I just like being like this?
Yeah.
Then they like, or whatever the case may be, the household, everybody's doing something but you, because you just want to live, you're happy the way you're living life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if it's Animal Planet you love to see, it's Animal Planet you love to see. Fun fact, I always wanted to be a zoologist,
Mhm.
and
That's dope.
work with exotic animals.
That's fine.
And it's just something that I enjoy.
That's dope. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. See, it makes me think about so many other things. Shout out to my man Q too. My cousin Ro put me on to him years ago. A brother that he came up and visited, and he was actually he had his own business, $1 million business, transporting exotic animals. And it's dope
Mm-hmm.
because it made me think about when you said about exotic animals, you love animals, etc. Blah 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 blah. Man, Q, my cousin Ro, shout out to Q. Hope you out there still continue doing your thing. Big love. Yeah, everything ain't for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You have star athletes where their companions don't play the sport. Some people may, some people may not. The thing is that things may work for you. You have to find your own tribe, your own community.
Yeah.
Everybody got different likes and dislikes. Baby girl love nails. I don't wear nails. It's not my thing, right? But there's a community of people out there that she can have her own tribe with that's interested in that thing, and which I think is dope. And I feel like finding or creating that tribe for yourself and for others,
Right.
I think that's where you start finding more peace at. You know, when you had stay at home moms, right? They have bakers clubs. They have
Yeah.
they go and they do baked goods all day, or they doing something with the children. I think that it's so much value and understanding who you are, where you are, and where you're trying to go, and what value do you add to your family? Because everybody add different levels of value.
Mm-hmm.
Some person may be an educational person. Some person may be a loving, caring person. Somebody may be able to rule with iron fist or authority. It may work different for different people.
And don't ever feel like you have to bring to the table something huge to be a value.
Mm,
You don't.
how do you find value? What do you think?
It's the little things.
Little things?
Like you being supportive, you're caring for that person, you're making sure your household is good. It's already showing value itself.
How? Oh, I like that. Do you think that you have to be a person that sees value within oneself in order to provide value?
Yeah.
Great, I like that. That's dope. Yeah, because I feel like that too. I
Mhm.
feel like finding your worth, finding your value. That's how you start to communicate that to other
Mhm.
people and validating it. Some people may not like to mow lawns. You have people out there that prioritize with lawn care. That's their business. That's their passion. My mother watched YouTube, and for hours she watched lawn care, cutting lawns, cutting trees and limbs, and that's all you hear. That's all you hear is for hours, right? And I'm s-
It's
and that's so crazy. But listen, to some of us, it may be like, why? But that's her tribe.
That's her piece.
That's her peace. That's her tranquility. That's where she find um her inner Donna at, where she's just gonna lay it down. She lay down on the bed and relax and kick her feet up and just chill. And I find so much beauty in those type of things because everybody has a thing that they into,
Mm-hmm.
right? We'll learn so much about other people, about where they are, what they trying to do when we become interesting because we are interested people as well. We're interested, we are curious.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like once we start building up those levels of values within oneself, other people would do the same. And then they start finding value within you as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, very important. When I love to communicate with people in general, myself included, I like to remind myself of no matter how I speak. Well, I know I was a fast speaker. I still speak fast at times, right? But I want to become a better speaker. So I download apps on my phone. I go to Toastmakers. I've been there before. Just different environments where people are speaking well to the level of where I want to speak at,
No, you're
right?
absolutely right. And like, not even to go off topic, but it's
Mhm.
just something that I found within a value of this year. Like I said, I changed, in my opinion, I changed tremendously because not 100%, but like I'm working on it. But like, I used to be very judgmental,
Mm.
very judgmental. And I'm not afraid of saying it. And
Mhm.
now I'm the opposite
Mhm.
because it just makes you think of you never know what the person has gone through to be where they're at now.
Ooh, say that again.
You never know
Ooh.
what a person has gone through or what they're going through to be where they are now.
I like that.
And I used to judge people all the time, like, oh, this person had a choice to be in the street. We don't know that.
Don't know that.
We don't know if it was a drug thing or they didn't have the funds to stay in the house or they didn't have this or they didn't have that.
Right.
And like I was telling you the other day, the homeless guy near the job,
Yeah.
he's homeless and he's offering me his sandwich.
Wow.
And he's like, hey, would you want a sandwich? And I'm like, no, it's okay. That's for you. He's
Correct,
like,
correct.
no, I have two. They gave me two. I can share one with you.
Wow.
And I was just like, people will be so quick to judge him because yes, he smells, everything, a
Mhm.
straight homeless man. But here he is, this sweetheart person just wants to have a conversation.
Correct.
You know, he's like, oh, we could sit here and have lunch. I have soda, I have ginger ale, and I'm like, no, I felt it in me to go into the office, go get him water. You know, I had a little change on me. All right, this is what you're gonna do. one thing about it is I don't feel like I had to put it on social media to show what I did for this person today. Like it was,
Mm-hmm.
I love doing things, always do things from the bottom of your heart.
Yeah.
Like, and I felt like at that moment, it taught me a true valuable lesson. Like, you never know what people are going through. Sometimes people have no choice to where they are there, at that moment. But you talk to them, you'd be so amazed at the level of conversation you can have
Yeah.
with a one person,
Yeah.
And he started disclosing stuff with him. He was so happy with the stuff that I gave him. And just him talking, he was just so happy
Yeah.
at that moment. And it's like I felt like I won at that moment.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, here it is, people are gonna stare at you like, is she really talking to a homeless person? Like,
Yeah.
what the Liz, are you okay? Like,
Mm-hmm.
but he just really just wanted to talk.
Yeah.
And I felt like a lot of people miss that.
Yeah.
You don't know what happened to that person to be where they are now.
Power in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Conversation is powerful. Conversation is a powerful, and I feel like this is where we learn about the things we're interested in, where we trying to go, what we trying to
Mhm.
do. I feel like having the conversation is so valuable. A lot of times in our communities, we end up in a lot of dire situations, destitute situations, behind walls and chains, mentally, physically, spiritually locked up because we are unwilling to have the tough conversations. And it's actually in the tough conversation of where we get where the victory is won at. We get the understanding that we've been looking for. I was listening to I forgot who said it, but they were saying that there's no bad question. There was
Mm-hmm.
no bad question. The only question that's the bad
No
question.
question's a stupid question.
No question is a stupid question. The only stupid question is the one that you never ask.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that if there's things that's on your mind, things you wanna, put into the ethos, put into the universe, put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody's in need of that. If you thought about that question, there are many more people in the world that are thinking about that same question. Maybe you be in a room with a bunch of other individuals that feel like, man, that's a dumb question
Mm-hmm.
at the moment. But if that question helps you get to that next phase of your life and answer that thing that you've been searching for your whole life, even in the moment, if it answers that question that
Mm-hmm.
you had, it's a benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Jazzy just said you don't want to go to your grave empty, meaning that all your thoughts or everything that you think about, you want to be able to put into the universe, tell people about it. Because when you gone, you're not coming back.
Right.
Unless you believe in reincarnation, etc. But that's another topic on a religious note. But I'm saying in general, um, we don't see the physical body come back the same person
No.
after they pass. So what I'm saying is that when we doing things, just be mindful of, what, give things your all, maximize your potential, give 110%,
Mm-hmm.
because you'll be so amazed at who you become during the process.
Of course.
So what I remind myself of is that here we are, 20th episode, a year of sobriety. Um, I'm more grateful um, than I have been in the past in my life.
I feel the
Um,
same.
yeah, I think I used to be so in my own mind thinking that I just deserved everything, in which I still feel like I deserve the
You
world,
just gotta work for it.
but absolutely, you have to be able to put that level of work out there, because I don't feel I'm deserving of the work without I don't feel I'm deserving of the reward without putting that necessary work in.
Mm-hmm.
Because even when I get to those levels, say I'm well renowned and I'm on these bigger platforms, the thing is my level of value and the contribution I want to add to somebody else's platform,
Right.
to the world. How much did I learn by going through this? Okay, when I get 500 episodes in, now I can
Mm-hmm.
tell you about what it's like to get up here every week, even when weeks and days that you don't want to do it, or having the tough conversations
Right.
where you had to figure things out. I'm like, well, what else can I expound about, or
Mm-hmm.
what conversation that I didn't have, or what did I? There are times I come up and I say words that I misspell. One time I was talking about, not misspelled, that I mispronounced. When I said the word apathy, and I was trying to say atrophy, right? Two different meanings, two totally different
Right.
meanings, and I'm like, okay, I've done that one time. Oh no, I did that the time before that too. I said other words in the past where
Mm-hmm.
I had misinterpreted the word. But my thing is that it's a beautiful thing when I can catch it, even for self. And even when I mess up, it just shows that for self, why I cheer myself on is that I'm willing to use the word over and over again so I get familiar with it.
Right.
And that's the training that we got to do, even when we like grown adults. We don't understand that the baby start to learn how to talk by talking every day. They say Google Gaga, mispronounce words all day until they get it right. So I think is sometimes we gotta go through the thing and do it over and over and over and over again until we build up the level of tolerance. Meaning that I got good over time because I built up my level of tolerance. I did something habitually over and over again until I got good at it. Michael Jordan didn't stop shooting basketball hoops. He didn't stop shooting the
Right.
basketball. Steph Curry don't stop shooting the basketball. LeBron
And you also
talking
have to remember, not everybody is you.
key.
Not
Key.
everybody is you. Not everybody will be valuable like you. Not everybody will be truthful like you. Not everybody is gonna be stand on 10 toes like you.
Correct.
You know, people people love to be around others a lot of times. Like, always, I always say protect your circle.
I like that.
And the reason why I say protect your circle now, like I said, this whole year has taught me a lot of valuable things. And it's like protecting your circles, protecting your inner peace.
I like that.
And the reason being why is because you had to really evaluate everybody around you.
Mm,
Are they really in it for the right reasons?
correct.
Or are they just around you because of what value you hold?
Mm-hmm.
Or if I have this person around, I just want them because they have a lot of people behind them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you had to be more mindful of the people you bring around,
yeah.
because you need to have the people in your group that are willing to grow with you,
Mm-hmm.
that are willing to have patience with you, that are willing to genuinely in your heart want to see you grow
Mm.
and become a better person.
Yeah,
Because everybody could say they do until the time hits.
absolutely.
So always remember, people are not you. And I feel like if you remember that, you'll be okay, because a lot of times you'll go crazy in your head and you'll be like, well, why can't they do this? And oh, you're gonna get yourself to another level, not realizing that they're not you.
Absolutely.
You
That's
know?
that's powerful. It's funny, man. Things come full circle. Nothing happens by happenstance. Nothing happened by chance. I'm watching a podcast the other day with Shannon Sharp and David Banner. This came on maybe about 3 weeks ago, but I just watched it maybe about 2, 3 days ago. And towards the end of the podcast, Shannon Sharp gave a lot of references to his grandparents. His grandparents raised him. His grandmother instilled so many gems in him. His grandfather instilled so many gems in him.
Mhm.
And his grandfather, not his grandfather, but his therapist said this to him. His therapist told him, "Hey, one of your biggest mistakes." And Shannon Sharp's like, "Well, what is it?" She said that because it's a woman. She said that you expect everybody to be you, and everybody's not
Mhm.
you. The same thing you just said, and I'm like, wow. But and that's how I come to accumulate certain things in
Mhm.
my life as being true. Not just because everybody says it, but when things start to hit home and the people that you talking to and they say things to where you can start adding this up on your list of, okay, this is one of the gems I need to pay close
Right.
attention to. There was no reason it didn't happen for no reason why I
Right.
heard that then, and then you saying that now. Everything comes full circle. So I look at these things as keynotes and mental notes that I take on my journey and say that along my journey, I would love to utilize some of these tools. Don't expect everybody to be you. Keep that in my memo pad.
And you know what's so crazy too? Like, around my circle,
Mm-hmm.
like, I started realizing that some of us girls are like, we want the same thing, and it's like breaking generational curses, what we call
Mm-hmm.
family trauma. We're trying to break that to be in our own peace,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of us were raised around things that we thought were okay and they weren't okay, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like certain things were love languages and they weren't love languages. But it's what the environment of how we grew up. Everybody doesn't grow up. Nobody grows up the same.
Correct.
That's an automatic given fact. So it's like, one thing I know now, it's like, I don't want my son to deal with half the stuff I dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, sometimes I have a problem with protecting him too much,
Mm-hmm.
because of the stuff that I went through and I saw and I endured. And then it's like, I don't want him to go through that,
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it took you to tell me, no, you're damaging him more than anything in certain aspects.
Yeah.
Because I was like, no, I'm afraid of him doing this, and I'm afraid of him doing that, and I'm afraid of him because he's genuinely a good, quiet kid.
Yeah.
And and I feel like it's my job to protect him.
Yeah.
But sometimes me protecting him, I was actually harming him.
Yeah. But that's through learning.
Yeah, of
and
course.
and as we learn and we grow, our perspectives may
Mhm.
change tomorrow. So we don't got to be committed to bad decision making,
Mhm.
bad choices in our own lives. We don't got to be committed to it. A
Mhm.
guy named Darius Daniels, which is a preacher, he said that we don't got to be loyal to bad decision making.
Right.
And a lot of times, just because we done things a particular way, that doesn't mean that we got to seek that through for tomorrow. And we
Mhm.
know in our hearts that may be the wrong thing. So even when I talk to Jaden, I don't, I don't, I don't speak to him in the context of saying this is right or wrong. I just lead him to let him know that, hey, you have a decision to make. And this decision that you make is going to have a consequence for
Right.
it. Your action is going to have a consequence for it. There's some things that work to my benefit. There's some things that work to my disadvantage. Some people could come from the mud and be winners and victorious in their lives.
Mhm.
Some people could be in the mud and never get out the mud and stay stuck in the mud.
Right.
Some people be fed the silver spoon and their lives is just generational wealth continues. There's some people that be fed the silver spoon and then they diminish the family wealth, right? They blow it on whatever they blow it on, and then no more generational
Right.
wealth. So it's all about the perspective. It's all about what you make it, and we arise to that in our lives to say that you always have autonomy over oneself. But once you give your autonomy away, when you give your governance away to someone else, whether it's a vice, whether it's a drug, whether it's another person, whether it's an environment, when you loyal to some of the wrong things, you don't have autonomy over oneself no more. So be loyal to yourself. Be loyal to the things that you hold in high regard, and find that continuously
Because
refine
it can
that
be so quick to lose yourself.
for sure, easily, because everybody's
Very
fight
quick.
like you said earlier. Everybody's fighting for your attention. When you're in digital prison, that's what's happening. Everybody's fighting for your attention. So
Mhm.
when everybody's fighting for your attention and they don't got your best interests at heart, you just a cog in that system. You just one component of many that's just playing a role because you're gonna feed my algorithm. You're gonna
Right.
feed my pockets. You're gonna feed the toxins or the toxic mindset within in the community. Oh no, this is gonna yield a bad return because you're not looking for prosperous ways to learn and grow. So a lot of these things just keep continuously impeding with our community, with
Right.
our oneself. But it's important,
It is.
and it's important, very important.
It is. But no, it's a lot more to it
For
too.
sure.
And I feel like one of my biggest thing now is keeping communications because some of my girls could say I am horrible at that.
Yep.
And which is very true.
Yeah.
Um Sometimes I get invited to places and I choose not to go. And I don't know if it's because my anxiety level starts to reach to the top and it's because of a new thing that I'm transitioning to and it's just something that I have to get myself out of there, and it's like all I guess it had to do with a lot with like my childhood and growing up and
Mm.
I wasn't around a lot of people if it makes sense and growing up with my uncle, he was very strict. So it's like he was right behind me and we walked to the mall. So half the time I didn't want to go because he'll embarrass me.
Mhm.
He'll pull his pants up all the way up to here, walk around like Steve Urkel, calling my name. So I was just like, damn, I'm not going outside. Oh no, I used to look at my friend Janae like, Janae, you see this? Oh my God, look at my uncle. And she's watching, she knows it's true because he used to embarrass the heck out of me. My cousins, Melissa Jr., they can say the same thing. He was just that type.
Yeah.
And it was I still quiet to myself a lot.
Mhm.
So I feel like that has also a big role in you and it's okay at certain times but
Yeah.
sometimes you need to go out and you need to enjoy. You push
For
me all
sure.
the time, go out with the girls and go out and do this and go out and do that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a new transitioning,
Yeah.
but always remember like block out everything that's not good for you. Always, whether it's family, friends, like block them out
Mhm.
and don't feel ashamed of doing it.
Mhm.
No, if they're not doing any good to you, if they're temporarily in your lives, if they're not holding any value to you,
Mhm.
block them out. And trust me, it will be such a relief. because if you know, like part of my healing process was blocking out a lot of people because I knew that they were triggers of mine. And it was just a trigger where I felt myself, I was losing myself. And it's like every time I would come back to this one specific thing, I would lose myself. Yeah. Like a lot of people know I don't have a good relationship with my mother. And it's like that was one of my triggers. It's just, not getting to that level of understanding. Yeah. And I'll lose it. And she'll lose it. And it's it's something that I just have to deal with myself. And it's like, okay, at this point of time is what's more useful for Elizabeth? Yeah. What's gonna help me more? Understand. Because I can't keep going this spiral way. Yeah. Because I'm only harming myself.
I agree. Do you feel like communicating with people with therapy, have these things, feel like talking about it openly to somebody, whoever, does that help?
I feel like it does, but sometimes I'm scared of therapy, if it makes sense, because I feel like sometimes therapists, and I think that's the number one reason why I don't like really going to therapy, because a lot of therapists, some people just do it because they do it, and they earn it, because of the money, and I feel like a lot of therapists act like they know what you went through, and they're like, oh, yeah, and once you smell bull crap, you don't want to even engage. And it's like if you hit one, you go to another one. And the minute you start smelling it, like they act like they know what it is, instead of saying, well, I never been through that situation, but I can imagine that this is what you're going. Instead of them being honest to you, you feel like they're, what is it? Forget.
I don't know what word you
just... I can't pronounce the word. You feel like they're just...
Fugazi?
Yes, there you go. They're bull crapping you throughout the whole entire session. So it's like, sometimes I feel like that's one of the reasons why I don't want to search it. But then here I am reading a book and I'm like, oh my God, this explains why I'm like this and this explains why I'm like that. And a lot of us don't understand, if you hold back childhood trauma or any type of trauma, your body inside is taking a toll and it's affecting different part of your organs, whether you know it or not. So it's like, once you get help, everybody believes whatever you want to believe, but in science, this is what I believe, and reading up on it and the childhood trauma and any type of traumatic trauma you went through, your body takes a hold of it. It's taking count of it, and it's holding himself in your genes. And this is why a lot of women are having trouble with reproduction systems, and a lot of women are having trouble with their breathing issues, and men too. And men too. It's not just women, it's both parties. And you start to realize why you're having all these health issues, and it's really because of that.
It's funny you said, not funny, but the thing is that
you're holding it in.
No, there's a book called Molecules of Emotion. I have it. May not be in this library, but Molecules of Emotion. It talks about how the emotions are attached in your cells, in your body, physically. So a lot of times we think everything is just mental, but it takes a physical toll on your body as well. What I found out that helped me in general when it came to my ideas, I just got around in different communities. I searched, even if I couldn't find a person to talk to within therapy, I find things on the net that I feel
are helpful for you.
Are helpful. Conversations, personnel. I don't idolize, meaning that I don't put more onus on like the person. So when they have that syndrome of like superstar stardom and all that, I don't look at those individuals, no matter who they are, like they're bigger than God, right? Even though we all walking around as God and goddesses, I mean that I don't put no human being above no other human being, is what I'm saying. Right. So that means that there's no big me's and little you's. I don't have that syndrome. But I want us to just to be aware that you can get in communities. You can find your tribe. You can find it on the net. You can find it through social media. You can find it in person.
Find your person.
Find your tribe. You may find them at Starbucks. Everybody that's on the computer doing anything. That might be your tribe. Your tribe may be in the library. Your tribe may be on a football field. Right. Or your tribe may be in the gym. Your tribe may be on the track. There's a tribe for you. Because there's more people out there that can associate and relate to some of your stories. They haven't walked their direct path, but some of the experiences that we all share. And I think that you finding that, even if you don't find it in therapy, if you don't find it within another personnel, You can find it somewhere. If you're searching hard enough, you stumble upon it. And you also have to be willing to
To
let
want
down
to
your guard.
change.
Yeah, you got to be able to let down your guard a bit. All of us, we keep our hands up because we don't want to get hurt, and we all do it. We all do it to a degree. Not saying that that you give away your protection, but we also have to learn how to trust too in order to exude trust as well.
Right.
If we want to be a trustworthy person, we got to be able to allow trust in to a degree. But you start building that up with oneself. Look at yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself the truth. Be a man or a woman of your word.
Right.
Let your word be your word. Your word is your bond.
Right.
Bond that. Keep that together. Be somebody of do as they say. Speak about this. Do that. And I think all of these things are just tools. No one way is going to get us to the promised land. I think it's a combination of learning and growing every day. Even some things that I learned today, even some of the things that we may have disclosed today, may not be the right thing for tomorrow. Depending on circumstance, depending on time, depending on environment, it all may change. But the thing is that you are willing to still put that effort out there to know and live on your truth. And I think that's key. When you're living on your truth and you out there every day living what you believe in, you'll start to learn more. You start to see things from a different perspective. You start saying, hey, I lived out my truth today. And I found out my truth has a kink in the system. There's a flaw. There's a malfunction here.
Yep.
And then now you can go back to the drawing board, and this is where you start getting perfection from the things that were imperfect. Because even that imperfect situation is going to yield you to a perfect situation.
And not
in due
only
time.
that, someone's always gonna judge you from your past.
Absolutely.
Always. And maybe it's because they're not even secure about themselves.
That's big.
So they're gonna go and talk about you like, oh my God, did you know what I just heard? I just heard this and that and that. They're insecure themselves.
Yeah.
That they felt like they had to go and disclose that instead of saying, oh my God, can you believe this person went through this? And yo, I'm proud of them. Look at where they are now. You know what I mean? It's two different people.
Absolutely.
That you're gonna get either the one that's proud of you or the one that's gonna go behind like, oh, did you hear this? Oh, little Miss Perfect or little Mr. Perfect, and they went through this and they went through that, and that's okay. Like you have to come to, in order for you to heal yourself too, you have to be okay with what people are gonna say about you, and that's okay. Like, all right, you want to talk about me? Go ahead. It's fine. It's cool. You're not hurting me because I know what I stand for, and I know. That's not me. You're just judging me off of my past, but that's not me no more. Absolutely. And sometimes, believe it or not, it could be a trigger to other people. Yeah. In a sense where the person that's healing itself, if another person starts to joke around about it, you don't know, like, it's so crazy. And, and the reason why I say it's so crazy, because when you're in a healing state process and somebody keeps bringing up like, oh, remember when you did this? And it's something that you didn't like what you did, whether it's joking or not, you don't know what you're doing to that person because they're not fully healed. So it's like, I feel like people as us, even me speaking to me, like myself, I also have to learn how to be mindful. Because we don't know how much you're poking, and you don't know what that person is doing for them to grow. And you saying that little thing of, oh, your crazy ass is this. You don't even know if one word you just said triggered that person. And it's like you're pushing them down instead of building them up. You
think it's important to communicate that with other people that you're surrounded around, your loved ones, your environment. If you in space, say you in work, and somebody does something that's, make you uncomfortable, you think having that conversation with that person is important? Yeah. I think so too. I think when
for everybody could be on the same page.
Yeah, because I think that a lot of times we assume that people know what you're talking about. And a lot of times we can't leave nothing up to really for assumption. So you got to be able to state, you got to be able to put the words and make it make sense to you. Figure out a way to say what you want to say, and then people will understand. Right. Like we can't expect people to know what we think if we don't know how to communicate that. So that means that we got to be able to know what we're looking for, know what we want to say, knowing what message we're trying to get across first before we expect people to understand it. And I think that's very, very key in our relationships, in our friendships, in our work environments, in our businesses. If somebody expecting one product, if they say they want a t-shirt and they want a hoodie or something, and I send them a pair of socks, there's something that's missing in the communication. They say no, they specified, no, this is the item that I want, and you sent me the wrong item. That's on me. But they communicated that. But if they say, yo, I just sent you $30, fam, just send me my joint, then it's like, okay, what
do you want?
What do you want, right? So I think it's a beautiful thing. I think we learn so much from one another, and it's powerful. I think today was a beautiful session. I think we got so many thoughts and perspectives out.
Hopefully, I can get a dog soon.
Space wise.
A little dog. Yo, people in the chat or wherever you are, you can just let him know a little dog does not take up room. They take up the least room.
Listen, man, your boy ain't trying to walk around the crib stepping no caca. You heard?
It's called training, patience, and having
man.
Training.
Yeah, I can't mess up these respectfully graded socks. You heard? Hold up, man.
Shut the fuck up.
I can't mess up these. I can't even show my leg up. But yes, man.
Lift up your leg.
I can't mess up these socks. You heard? So today was a beautiful day. Is there anything else that you want to leave?
I just want to say, whether you're growing or changing or going through something, never give up. Never give up. Always remember, whatever you're dealing with, you have it. It doesn't have you. Like because the minute it has you, you're done. Yeah. So I feel like have control of it. Always do. I try to use that in my health aspect. I always say, I have it. It doesn't have me. And, days that I'm in excruciating pain, I'm like, no, I have it. It doesn't have me. No control. I could do this. I could do this. Always have that. Try to have that positive mindset. And even though it's hard, because there's times where it's hard, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, yeah, have a positive mindset. It's so easy. It's not easy. It's never easy, and just keep pushing for what you want. It's okay to eliminate people. It's okay to eliminate things you used to like to do. But make sure is to make yourself better. Like that. And don't lose yourself in the midst of it all.
That's powerful. Today, if you found anything of value, tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, share, subscribe. As I mentioned earlier, so many people that watch our content, so many people are not subscribed. So turn that notification button on, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And we A-okay. This enabled us to bring on more guests, more value content for the platform. We'll be able to do so much more in order to build up the platform that we want to by spreading the message of growth and development, by being respectfully great. You also can go to respectfullygreat.com. You also can join our email list. There you'll be able to get so many blogs that we got up there every day. Soon I'll be able to put up the audio of the podcast soon. That's an intention of mine to put that on our website as well. You also can go get fine, dope merch. As you see, we got hoodies, t-shirts, enamel pins, socks, you name it, we have it there. And it's a testament to who you are as a person and character. So we wear the garments because they look nice as well, right? It's fashionable, beautiful thing. But it's also, I look at it as a protective garment. So when you're walking outside, it's a reminder to look at yourself as being respectful, as being great. The biggest thing in the world to me is being able to have that and have that respect. Because I feel like people can love you, hate you, etc. But when somebody respects you, they tend to do things a little bit different. People do a lot of crazy things out of love. People do a lot of crazy things out of hate. But when you met with respect, it's a fine line that's drawn in the sand that most people not aware of. But when you say, okay, I stand by the respect factor, that means that there's a certain level of loyalty that comes with that. It comes with a certain level of trust. It comes with a certain level of a person just being fully transparent with themselves and being able to communicate that to others. So if you love or if you like what's going on our platform, you can share sentiment in those facets by liking, sharing, subscribing, joining the email list, purchasing something, whatever suits you. If it works, it works. Thank you again unconditionally, because it shows that you guys are taking time out of your lives to come in and share with us on this day at this time or even later on in our dates. And it's a testament to know that we all out there learning and growing together. So that's the whole premise of us creating something. We want to be able to be creators, be able to do things in our lives that promotes growth and development. And I want to see you some time from now just to be a more elevated person in doing the things that you intend to do, being in the places that you want to be in, having the money, the finances that you want to have, having the relationships that you intend to have, having all of the things that you feel that bring enjoyment to you, whether it's education, whether it's sports, whatever it may be, whatever is your thing. I want you to be able to go out there and maximize that to the umpteenth degree. So super super appreciative for that. Also, I learned this from Dr. Ali. He said, "There's anything that I said tonight or we said tonight that that doesn't align with your belief system or ruffles your feathers. Understand that our sentiment is only coming from a pure place of not wanting to hurt but trying to help. So if there's some things that you want to just dismiss and throw out the window, you're entitled to do that. Understand that we just coming from a place of speaking our truth. And if it aligns with you, it's a beautiful thing. If it doesn't, then throw it out. But ultimately, we want you to go out there and just live your life to fulfillment. So thank you again for today's episode, and we're going to sign out.
Deuces.
Dope, 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 dope. That was Filini.
Nervous jitterness.
Yeah, so good. Remember, we still on. Remember, you.
That's okay. Yeah, I know I was nervous.
No. Because you don't know me. Tell me.
I know. That's
Hey, off.
it.
All right, so just FYI. Hey, you all keep
Just
it.
a FYI.
Yeah.
We're still on.
I said it like that. I said it like that.
A little bit like Chucky. You said it.
Just trying to protect, man.